And she's back with better lighting and hopefully the motivation to continue filming. It's amazing what an Amazon ring light can do for your once humble setup. Sorry, I sound terrible. I think everybody is sick right now. Dior. This guy just came out. They like just put it on the Ulta website and like I don't think I heard like anything about it. It was just like on there one day. It's the Hydra Nude. My experience with Dior face products, love what is this guy? This concealer from them, the Forever concealer. Obsessed with this actually. And I really used to like the face and body back in the day. I know they've reformulated and I haven't tried that, but that was back in my youth. This guy is, oh my god, it was $57, which I don't want to say that feels normal for like for foundation now, because that makes me feel like someone is stabbing me in my chest. Because I feel like foundation used to be like the end of 30s, 40s, 45, 50s, and now it's like slowly creeping into that like all foundations are 57, 58, $60. Which, you know, what isn't expensive anymore? It makes sense. Dior's a luxury brand, so I can't really complain. That being said, I'm so excited to try this out. This is gonna be like a little bit of a first impressions kind of thing. I will probably make an update about like how it wears if I return it. If I return it, well then, you know, I did not like it. For comparison, I have like normal leaning dry skin. Like this is just my skin right now with my moisturizer on. Like I don't even have sunscreen on right now. I know. I'm terrible. I'm just gonna let you gaze directly into the eyes of my pores. But yeah, like I have some like scarring because I had some like hormonal breakout going on. But yeah, as you can see, skin and all of its wonders. Ugh. This probably is not helping. It's like, you know, when you're sick, you're supposed to like drink like emergency or like orange juice or whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, diet soda, I guess. That's gonna be what works for me. Packaging is kind of gorge, can't lie. Like the nude, I know they have another foundation. I should have done my research before this. I'm so sorry. I'm like a really uninformed, uneducated content creator currently. There's another one. Let me look that up really quick. There's a difference. This is the Hydra Nude. They have one that's in packaging exactly like this called the Natural Nude. And that one has more shades. This one only has 18 shades. Whereas like the Dior Forever and the Dior Skin Glow have 42 and 43 shades. So obviously there's definite room for improvement in that shade range. Even if you want to say that I think this is supposed to be like a lighter weight, lighter coverage foundation and that you could probably flex between, it's like for the luxury price point of like almost $60, the fact that you already have shade ranges that are very like flushed out and cohesive, it doesn't make sense to me. It says the first Dior foundation that delivers a natural looking flawless finish in a 24-hour coverage with a no makeup feel infused with hyaluronic acid for 48 hours of hydration. That doesn't impress me. Like I feel like everything has hyaluronic acid in it. I was just between trying this and the new Hourglass one because I'm looking for like a really nice lightweight your skin but better foundation to kind of wear for pictures, and I feel like those two were kind of like on my radar, and this one I could go see in store. I don't know how, like this is the lightest shade, don't know how that's gonna work out for me, but we're just gonna like roll with it. Here's the flawless finish of a foundation with the replenishing hydration of a hyaluronic acid serum. Apply foundation by gently dabbing onto areas that require correction. Blend by smoothing. For totally even coverage over the entire face, you can use the foundation brush. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, but for $57 and the fact that they already have like these large encompassing foundation ranges, I think we could have flushed this out a little bit more. I feel like 18 shades is like a little small for a luxury brand. I feel like we could have at least, you know, maybe done as many as the one that looks exactly like this that I've already forgotten, the natural nude or whatever. Difference wise, I should probably tell you about like what the difference between those two are. Natural nude is supposed to be like a natural and luminous finish with no mask-like effect. So I don't know. This one is seeming more like a skincare based foundation, and that one's seeming like a luminous kind of, just kind of, you know, maybe like an everyday kind of foundation. I'm curious about how this will compare to the NARS Light Reflecting. I love that foundation. I don't have it right now just because I don't. I did have it for like a brief period, but I have so much foundation right now. It's sick, I say as I buy another foundation. Like in the bottle, this looks so yellow. Ah! I'm hoping that this will not be as yellow. I'm probably gonna apply it with a brush and then smooth it over with a sponge. That feels like a good game plan. Okay, so before I go in with the foundation, I'm gonna use the MAC Hyperreal Serumizer and then the Hyperreal Eye Serum. I just like using these before I put on my actual like primer, just because I feel like my skincare is set in, and this kind of just gives me like a nice smooth kind of base to work with. I don't know, I just feel like it helps everything go on a little bit nicer. Aren't we adorable? Okay, primer wise, because I know the Milk Hydro Grip, I like to try that out once I realize I like a foundation, and I'm like, ooh, let's experiment. Kind of my tried and true guy that works with everything. I know I use a lot of MAC, I'm so sorry. This is the MAC Studio Radiance. It's moisturizing and illuminating, and I use like 2 pumps, and it's really nice. I like to mix it with my foundations or use it as a primer, and it's just like a really nice like hydrating primer. It doesn't have like any shine to it really. I mean, like it has a glow, but it's not like shimmer. Again, it just kind of like, I feel like feels like a drink of water. I'm gonna shake this up. Let me check the shade first so I can show you guys kind of how this looks. So this is the lightest shade. This is, oh my gosh. This is 0N. Very yellow in tone. It's very lightweight, like texture-wise. If you're somebody who's tried a lot of foundations, like you will definitely feel a difference in texture compared to like if you've ever tried like, you know, full coverage ones, they kind of have a little bit more like density to them. This guy's obviously not that. It is very like fragrant. I'm scared about this shade. Let me just, oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, like it kind of just looks fine. I don't know. I feel like I'm always like up in arms about like foundation shades, and it's like they usually look fine. Like even if it's like a little bit off, like it looks fine. Like you know, we make it work. We make it work. I'm gonna start with 1 pump, and I'm just gonna kind of dot that all over. I feel like when I'm putting it on though, it looks like very yellow. And then I'm gonna go in with my BK Beauty brush. I actually really like how it's looking on my forehead right now. Cool. Okay, I'll zoom you in so you can kind of see what like 1 pump looks like. Okay. Okay, so that's one pump. I think I'm gonna add a second one just to kind of like see if we can get a little more coverage, because this is like a pretty like everyday kind of look, I think, because it almost looks like I'm wearing nothing. That shade ended up being like fine, so maybe it is like one of those ones that's like, oh, you can flex between, it's not supposed to give a lot of coverage shade ranges, or maybe I'm just really bad and this is like my perfect shade match and I'm just dumb. Okay, so there it's giving more coverage, and I think you can even see that on camera. And I definitely am like smelling the the fragrance when I'm putting it on. It's like very Dior, like old lady kind of perfume. Um, which, you know, is not the most pleasant sensation, but if it's like a great foundation, I could probably like live with it. But if you're really sensitive to like fragrances, I think that you're gonna be like, ugh. Smooth with a brush. I usually have to like go over and be like, ooh, let me buff out any little streaks, but it's actually really smooth. It definitely looks better, I think, with a second layer, like more coverage. I'm kind of like tempted to add a third. Should we? Okay, let's try like one more. We're heading into the danger zone. This could be where it all goes wrong. It's really lightweight. It feels like there's like nothing on my face, honestly. Which is like, I've been wearing a lot of like full coverage foundation, so this is like kind of like a nice change, which I love, you know, a full coverage moment, but it's nice to not like feel the makeup on your skin. I think 3 pumps is giving me, oh, let me not break that everywhere. The look that I am going for. And here's everything zoomed in. I especially like that around my like mouth and stuff, like when I'm talking. It's not like getting cakey or kind of settling right now. And it really does feel like super lightweight. I think the thing that I can't get over is I still kind of feel like it has this like yellowy tone to it, but in person, like on camera, it kind of looks that way, but in person, I'm not really like seeing it that much, but I also like might be blind. This is what like I expected the Patrick Ta foundation to kind of feel like when I first was trying it. So I'm gonna finish my makeup and then I will come back and kind of show you like from a talking distance and then up close kind of how it looks like after it's kind of like set down a little bit while I've finished my other makeup. But so far, I mean, really lightweight and I'm really liking the way that it built up. And the only thing that I really like didn't like was the fragrance, but I mean, like, I kind of knew that going in. Like Dior just puts fragrances in their foundation and there's not much I can do about that. Um yeah, I mean, like my skin, I'm really liking that, like what it's looking like, especially like when I'm looking like directly in the mirror. Like it just looks like my face. It looks like really like fresh, and that's exactly what I was kind of like going for. So here's my makeup all finished. This is pretty like standard everyday kind of look for me. Shadow, not loving right now. But as far as like the foundation, um, mixed really well. I used the MAC Studio Radiance Concealer, and I did set my under eyes and kind of around my mouth area with the Kosas Cloud Set powder. And that was the time that I noticed with the Patrick Ta foundation that I was like, whoa, this looks bad. This one I didn't have that issue with. I'm gonna zoom you in a minute, but when I was setting it and finishing up my other makeup, the Patrick Ta one started to like cake and crease, and I could see like it like pilling. I didn't have that issue here. I'll kind of just zoom you in. Like obviously I have skin and texture because I am a human being, but it's not anything that I'm like, oh my god, this is emphasizing anything or making me look like a million years old. I just think it looks really fresh, really nice. Um, Especially in person. It's definitely got like a little bit of a glow to it still. Obviously, this is highlighter, but especially on my forehead where I obviously don't have any highlight, like there's just cream bronzer and then the foundation. Um, it just looks like hydrated, really nice, not too heavy, even though there's 3 layers of it on, which is really surprising because usually once I start to get into like, all right, we're adding a second pump, we're adding a third pump, that's when I'm like, ooh, this is heavy. I feel a lot of foundation on my face. No, this still feels really, really lightweight. I just really like how it's looking. I don't know how long wearing it will be because of the fact that it is like a skincare based foundation. Let me zoom out because I don't need to stare at my pores any longer. Fragrance has kind of like not stuck around. It's not like persistently there. But again, like I think if you are sensitive to fragrances, this might not be one for you just because of like how potent it is when you're like putting it on. Like that would be enough to like give me a headache. Again, this is something that I'm gonna have to like test out a couple more times and like see how it wears during the day and plays with other products, but I'm actually like really impressed. And this is kind of exactly like I said, like I wanted the Patrick Ta foundation to be, and the match doesn't look too bad. I think the only thing that's bothering me is in real life I can't see it, but on camera it still has this like tinge of a yellow tone to it. I think that's really good. So that is the Dior Hydra Nude Foundation. If there are any other products you guys want me to try, just let me know. I'm really, really, really interested in that new Hourglass foundation. I said I didn't need more foundations, but you know. Yeah, so I will keep you updated.